Hey everyone, welcome to Steel Wars. I am Steel Saunders and I do love Star Wars. And welcome back to the Hyper Chat. We are joined today by our old buddy, Eric Strothers, and Harry's just joined in.
Hey, what's up, Harry? How are you? And what's up, Steel? Thanks for having me on, man.
Eric says hello. Do you want to say hello?
Hi.
All right.
Oh my gosh, he sounds so grown up.
All right, give me a kiss. And scootle off.
Aw.
Come on. The internet doesn't want to see your butt. What a beginning to the show.
Yes. Yeah.
Red hot, firing. What's going on, buddy?
Oh man, just trying to enjoy the summer. The kids are off and I'm working all the time, so I don't get to hang out with them as much. But yeah, it's been good. Just it's burning hot here though. Oof, not a fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
The I was listening to your podcast. Did I say what podcast you were from?
No, sir. But I'm from the Sith list.
No, the Sith list. Harry. Okay. All right. He's yeah. I'm trying to keep the feed not wooed. He's just out of the bath, so
Gotcha.
I didn't want a towel to be revealed or anything. Anyway, the Sith list.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and Tom was saying that there's those big cicadas. Do you have them, like the giant
So
grasshoppers or something?
we had them not last year, but the year before. They go in these 13-year and 17-year cycles, and we ended up in a thing where they both landed at the same time. They both hit, and it was maddening. You would walk outside, and it was like all you could hear. And there were so many of them dead everywhere that it literally stunk because they would start to decay. It's so nasty.
So can you see? Like, how dense are they?
Pretty dense. I mean, and the thing is, they don't fly much. They're just all over the ground, everywhere.
Ah, so they're not in the air.
No, they're just blanketing every last. And you'll go to your car, and they'll be all over your car tires. You think, man, I really don't want to run over them, but they're not going to move. You just, you just go. I have only seen them fly it's like watching a turkey fly. If you've ever seen one where it's like you toss them in the air. I've never done that personally, but I'm just saying that's what you do.
I hope it's not like having a bunch of turkeys stuck to your tire either.
No. They're much smaller than that. But they're so loud. Woof.
Wow. That's horrible.
It's not pretty rough.
0 buys.
Yeah, no thanks.
What Star Warsy things you've been up to? What did you how did you end up with Andor?
Oh man, I loved it. It was so good. I really like the way they divided it up into separate, major components, major arcs. Where it went, I wasn't expecting. The writing was great. It was just a surprise. Like the ending was a big surprise. They went all in on it, and I was super stoked with it. Super stoked.
Yeah, it was so good. I ended up watching it twice, or more than twice, because Jackie watched it on delay. She watched it pretty much on average with the weekly, if they did it once a week,
right.
She was about, but and now we're watching Rogue One.
Oh, nice.
But because we keep falling asleep, it's like series 4.
I understand that too.
Now Jackie's at the end of the hall listening to what I've got to be on best behavior, Eric. I'm talking
Straight
to Eric,
fly right.
Jackie.
Oh, tell her I said hello.
All right, you both said tell them to say hello, so in unison.
Ask him what's he thinking about Taylor Swift buying all their music back.
Jackie's got a question for you. What did you think about Taylor Swift buying all her music back?
I was pretty happy for her, man. That had to feel good. And
pretty happy for her, man. That had to have felt good.
That was a good Strothers invitation. I appreciate that.
The guy who officiated Katie's wedding was a lawyer on that case.
Oh, okay. This is a real 6 degrees. The guy that officiated our friend's wedding
Uh-huh.
was a lawyer on that case.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
How interesting.
Yeah. So that's our celebrity sighting for the week. We once, how's this for a celebrity sighting? You will not believe this. Right.
I'm ready.
The other week, we walked 4 blocks with Gwen Stefani's brother's cat.
No way. That is bananas.
That's not bad.
Thank
That's
you.
not bad.
Thank you.
Someone, I don't know, this cat's famous in the area.
Really?
And,
That's interesting.
well, like, all the, because he's just like out running around. And he came 4 blocks and then went in, like we were visiting Harry's old, like nanny. And the cat walked 4 blocks with us and came in the house.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Good on him.
Life is good when you're a Stefani.
No doubt.
But yeah, one of the locals said, "Oh, that's Gwen Stefani's brother's cat." So
That's hilarious. Man.
so the Hollywood just doesn't stop. I got to tell you.
Well, I have had nothing interesting like that happen to me. So yeah, no great stories there.
What's the best member of a band you've met that you were so excited about?
Man, that's tough. Honestly, probably the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, like their music director and like main guitar player and songwriter. His name's Al Petrelli. Fantastic. It was really cool meeting him. I've got to open for several bands that it was cool to meet, like the dudes from King's X. I don't know if you remember this band, Cowboy Mouth. It was cool meeting them, even though I was.
What was the band called?
Cowboy Mouth?
No, I thankfully do not remember Cowboy Mouth.
They had a big hit in the mid 90s. Anyway, they were from Louisiana, and I wasn't starstruck at all by them. It was just cool to meet them, see people who had like been slogging away making music their whole life. I thought it was really neat. So, but yeah, nobody's like amazingly famous. I would love to meet Taylor Swift. That would be the best. I think she's awesome.
Would you cry?
Maybe, probably not, but maybe, probably.
Jackie was in the same restaurant or bar as her and didn't know.
Yeah, she told me that after the fact. I'm like, oh, that'd be so cool.
At Barney's Beanery.
I bet Taylor Swift tells that exact same story.
Yeah.
About Jackie.
Yeah, I don't know. I bet she's got a few stories to tell.
Oh, I'm sure.
So what sort of Star Wars stuff you've been talking about on the Sith list?
Just, right now it's just the minor stuff that pops up. Luckily, we've got King Tom Chansky on there, who is our book expert when it comes to that area. I have fallen way off the track. So he's there to tell us what's going on with the latest High Republic novel. And it's definitely intriguing. I love the first couple, but I couldn't keep up on them. And once I quit keeping up on them, I was done trying to keep up on them.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I read the first one, and then I was just like,
It was so many names to keep track of. It's like I don't have time to like keep a journal on the side to keep it straight.
It is hard for me to keep track of like. It's a lot easier for me when it's a book about characters I've seen on TV.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But it's a pretty drab time for Star Wars news. There's not much. Oh, there's Coca-Cola cans.
Oh,
I'm just looking on the I don't know why it's on Yahoo. Wait there. I'll go to Google.
I was gonna say, is it 2004?
I don't know. On Chrome, it's like it's set automatically.
Well, that's like Microsoft with Bing. It's like, I'm not getting behind this, Microsoft. I'm sorry. Bing, the search engine.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's like Ask Jeeves or something like that.
Exactly.
I used to ask Jeeves a few things. He was a snappy dresser.
Oh, absolutely.
So this is Star Wars news on Google, and it's which was our feature topic, is Mark Hamill talking about The Last Jedi. The topic will never go away, Hawes.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey, that's a compliment, buddy.
It is. That's
Come
why I love that guy.
Pardon
He's
me.
the best.
Pardon me, Eric. Pardon me. It's old habits die very hard. What else? Oh, there's Obi-Wan season 2 rumors, which what do you think?
I mean, it would be great. I know that it's one of those things that I think the fans would love, but I don't know that it's really going to happen. What do you think?
First of all,
Billy.
hi Billy in the chat. I don't see it happening. And I don't know. I sort of think I think they got away with this time, and then to I don't know, go back to it again. Like, do you know what I mean? They sort of danced around like you know, like how he got off the planet and had an adventure and got back, and I just to do it again, it's just like just let him hang.
Yeah, and I felt like they sort of tried to leave the door open for it with the, well, now it's up to you, Owen, to watch after the boy. And that way they could have him do something else. But look, you flirted with ruining like the canonical timeline leading into A New Hope and like what we all expect. So I'd say just leave it be. You did fine. It was good, but that'll do.
Yeah. Well, the main thing is, if they do bring it back, is that they keep the continuity with the Tatooine villages.
I was going to suggest that same thing. That's a must.
That is a big must. We've got to keep that going. How do I change this? This is terrible how it's over there. Sorry,
one thing that's interesting about that Mark Hamill thing is this week the Sith list is, I mean, there will be an episode, but Araj is out of town on one of his many vacations.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah, and so we recorded ahead of time, and then the next day is when this Mark Hamill thing popped up. So I've had it open in my phone's browser since then, so that we could talk about it when I got back.
So have you watched it yet?
Well, I didn't watch the interview, I just read it.
Okay.
Of him talking about like the whole gist of it is, I don't want to.
Don't gist. Don't gist, because I've got it. I'm there.
Oh, okay, perfect.
So wait there. Let's get our heads right. Whoa, that's not right. That's what I'm trying to do. So Mark Hamill was on Bullseye with Jesse Thorne. Have you heard of Jesse Thorne before?
I have not.
He's a very established podcaster. I can't remember. It used to be called something else. But he's like OG. Like he's been doing it for a long time. And he interviews great, like a lot of varied guests and stuff. He's like an LA dude. But God, I wish I could remember what the show used to be called. But anyway, so Mark Hamill's on. He's promoting a film of some description, I believe, Eric. But this is the segment with I haven't listened to it all yet, so let's take it in.
And nobody knows Star Wars better than he does.
In The Last Jedi, Luke Skywalker has sort of exiled himself. And from what I understand, that
he's asking this question very cautiously.
He is. He's really doing the dance.
It was uncomfortable for you when you read it.
Well, here's the thing, and I'd love to clear this up. Ron,
can I just say, someone sent me something today about someone that's very upset about this next sentence.
Oh, really?
Internet person. And everyone can guess who it is.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
That's a shame.
Rian Johnson is one of the most gifted directors I've ever worked with.
So I cut it there, but it was Rian Johnson.
amiable. He's fun on set. He's smart. He made a great movie. I think the staging of the standoff between Kylo Ren, Adam Driver, and I at the end is so well staged. You know, the foreshadowing that I'm not really there. Adam wipes the snow away and you see the red planet beneath. I wipe the snow and it's just snow. I mean, that.
Did you notice that the first time?
Yes,
Did you?
I did. I did.
I don't think I did.
Well, and I tell you what I noticed. It was less about noticing that it was still white than it was noticing it was red, and or not red. And that's what I said, because I remember the red being so striking. And then whenever he did it and nothing happened, I'm like, oh, where's the red? And it didn't occur to me that he wasn't really there. I just saw it happen, which is almost more embarrassing than not noticing it at all. That I didn't guess that it was because he wasn't there. I was just so taken in by it.
It was a very it was pretty full on.
Mm-hmm.
That's so subtle. I loved
And it was admittedly so subtle. He says it
Yes.
himself.
Yes.
Knives Out and Brick and Looper. He's one of my favorite directors. And the fact that I went public with my dissatisfaction with the motivation for Luke becoming a suicidal hermit might have colored things in a way that maybe I should have kept that to myself. But I kept saying to Ryan, this would just make Luke double down even. He said, well, your whole, your class at the Jedi Academy were wiped out.
And he turned on me. He must have thought I was dead. When I came to,
I don't know why we're getting this.
the temple was burning.
Down and it hardens his resolve in the face of adversity. So that's all. I said, can I make up my own backstory?
Have you heard this backstory he makes up?
I read it. Yes. So I know what he's going to say.
Are you buys or no buys?
It's quite dark. I personally don't like it, but that's just me.
It's pretty edgelord.
It is. It certainly is.
Story of why he is the way he is. I don't want to just say that, I have bumped my head and I have brain damage. He said, yeah, do whatever you want. So I made up a much, much darker backstory that I thought could justify him being that way. You want to hear what?
I too came up with a dark backstory for my character on the set of Star Wars.
You did.
So he was down on his luck. Close to divorce. Poor. It was horrible.
But
Did that help you?
I helped make other people laugh when I would act out my day.
Well, that's good. I mean, I appreciate that you could find the motivation like that. So now I'm going to watch the Kenobi series with a completely different set of eyes.
Well, how's this right? This is a deleted scene from Kenobi. And like towards the end when he walks out with the EOP in the last episode. And that was a camel, by the way. That's a bit of film magic for you. Mm-hmm. And he'd have to walk like with the camel and then with like a rubber EOP and then with nothing. And they'd film it all to composite or whatever. And I would come out of this laneway at the same time each time and walk up to this rug shop where I'd bought a rug, right? Because I'd just taken the rug and said, I bought this, and I'd walk around with it. So, because I thought it'd be more visible on screen. And so, because I felt it wasn't a rug, it was a pillow cover, right? But I thought it was a rug. And so I'm taking it back to the rug shops to say, hey, this isn't big enough. I need a refund. And so each take I'd go up there and come up with this new, because they couldn't hear me, like the crew. But there was a lot of extras up there. And I'd just come up with a new abusive way to try to return the rug or the pillowcase. So there's other things going on in that scene. It's not just Obi-Wan like walking with an EOP. There's other villagers living their lives.
That's really intriguing, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see what Hamill came up with.
Spill it, Hamill.
I thought, what could make someone give up a devotion to what is basically a religious entity, to give up being a Jedi? Well, the love of a woman. So he falls in love with a woman. He gives
So this bit is one bit. And then it's like, whew.
up being a Jedi. They have a child together. At some point, the child, as a toddler, picks up an unattended lightsaber, pushes the button, and is killed instantly. The wife is so full of grief, she kills herself. I thought that would be, because I think about, I hear these horrible stories about these children that find unattended guns and so forth and wind up dead. And I thought that resonated with me so deeply that that could possibly, but he didn't have the time to tell a backstory like that. I'm guessing he just wanted a brief.
I don't know if time was the issue.
Yeah, I don't think that was the issue. Oof.
And it sounds like the backstory to some short on Visions or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I am very glad that that's not how it went. I honestly think if that was going to do anything, it would push him towards the dark side more than make him want to give up being a Jedi. That he would end up being the bad guy of the sequel trilogy if that was the case.
What's he doing just leaving lightsabers around?
Well, that's another great question.
Like,
I was cleaning it and it went off. It's one of those things. I don't know.
we did look one straight in the,
That's true.
That meme. Which he says, he does claim that was just a bad freeze frame.
Mm-hmm.
But what? So yeah, it is just it's just funny that someone thinks that Mark Hamill has betrayed them on the internet.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
Because they like a director that they don't. And the story, this is the problem with the world. People make up stories about how they think other people must think.
Right. Well, you know what's interesting, Steele, is we were both at Celebration for the Last Jedi panel when Mark Hamill was talking to Rian Johnson about how he fundamentally disagreed with his approach, blah, 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 blah. But he followed it up immediately. But after I let him know that, I said, all right, you've written a good story. Lead me. Show me what you want me to do. And that was the part that they always wanted to gloss over. And I think it's cool that Mark mentions here that, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I should have phrased it differently or just sat on it. But
Yeah.
it is what it is. And it gave us many hours of frustrated satisfaction to see everybody have their say about it.
The Cody in the chat saying Mark explaining this is literally the only reason he could think of Luke turning to the dark side, but he didn't turn to the dark side.
Right.
So
he just gave it up.
He just gave up all the sides.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if he says anything else.
Thing to explain it. And to me, it didn't justify it. That said, and I told him this, despite the fact that I disagree with your choices for Luke, I'm going to do everything within my power to make your screenplay work as best that I can. And the only thing unfortunate about that is I've heard comments from fans who think that I somehow dislike Rian Johnson, and nothing could be further from the truth. And by the way, that story about my made-up backstory, I've never told that before. That's an exclusive for you, Jesse.
First of all, thank you. You know I thrive on exclusives.
I'm not sure if I told anyone else about my backstory. but that might be an exclusive for you.
I feel good about it. I'm going to go back and just annotate this and talk about it on the Sith list. That'll be our lead off story when we come back next week.
Excellent. I was thinking about this, right? Like, looking back, right, at the reaction and possible stories. Like, would you have had Luke go out in the middle film?
Probably not. I understand the desire to make like each movie one of the big three's movies. The timing of Carrie Fisher's death kind of wrecked that. What's up, Cody? It just no, I wouldn't have. Like most people, I wish that we would have seen the three of them and Chewbacca together on stage, on screen. I wish.
Yeah, but that was never going to happen,
right?
Because like that, like at what point do you backtrack and
right? But no, I would have kept Luke until the end. I think
to have them all together means to rewrite the whole thing,
right?
And yeah, I don't know. I don't think you need them all together. Like, there's that Disney "This Is What We Wanted" thing, and they're all jammed into the Millennium Falcon cockpit,
right?
And yeah, I don't know. It seems a bit.
Well, when I say that I would have liked to see it, it's because it would have felt good to my heart. It would have been crappy storytelling.
Yeah,
but
but it would be cool. But it doesn't all the pieces just falls apart.
Right. It does. It really does. But I would have liked to see Luke go the distance, and him becoming one with the Force, I thought was a great move. And like ultimately the methodology behind him being able to project himself via the Force across the galaxy was killer. I thought it was a really, really neat, and that it took all of his life energy away to do it, and he slipped into becoming one with the Force. That would have been great. It would have been cool if it had been in the third movie instead of the second one. But having said that, I love The Last Jedi. Love it. I think it's a great movie. That's just one man's opinion on it, though.
Yeah, it's one of the best ones.
Yeah,
like, but I was sort of like, what about this? Right, I was thinking about this when I was cooking dinner. What if it ended right with him slumping down, and then you don't know what happens until the next movie, and then he's back, but you have like 2 years to is he alive? Is he dead? What did that mean?
Gotcha. Yeah. That could have been cool, because I will be honest, the thing I didn't like was Rey and Leia trying to make sure that we knew, hey, I felt he's gone. I felt it. Did you feel it? I felt it. That was a bit clunky. I mean, I understood that they were doing that to make sure that you knew this was a thing, but yeah, it would have been nice to leave it hanging up in the air like that, and to make it more dramatic on screen, like you said, slump over. Versus, it was cool, the symbolism of him staring at the sun when it was going on, but yeah.
Because if it was me, just to say I'm running, what could make the most money? I would have it all play out, but then just have him have that cliffhanger, and then you've sort of got the 2 movies in a row. You got a Luke Skywalker cliffhanger,
right? I mean, because that was an excellent end to The Force Awakens. I mean, man, oh man, the pop of that! I just remember seeing it that first time and leaving the theater and being like, oh. And just the amount of speculation that like gave us to talk about. It was so fun. So good.
I just remember when the credits came up and just like going, swear word. Oh my God. They did it. And then I had to run out to run to the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. Because you did the immediate follow-up pod. That's the event. That's right.
Sam says, I know Ryan said the scene was repetitive, but there's a small deleted scene of Luke mourning Han, and I think that would have made Luke's characterization easier for people to handle. Is that when he goes into the cockpit of the Falcon?
I'm trying to remember if it was then or if it was like when he goes into his hut, and I don't remember for sure. But yeah.
It's him in his hut, Sam says.
Okay.
But that cut was very good.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Han?
Where's Han? Yeah.
And then it goes to Kylo Ren.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty classy.
Yeah.
Do you know it's a weird thing? I'm thinking about all these, like with the dice.
Mm-hmm.
It always boggles my mind. Like J.J. Abrams is such a he's just doing his thing,
Mm-hmm.
and he just doesn't care, right?
Right.
So he films this scene in The Force Awakens. You know, Han puts the dice back up on the Falcon.
Yeah.
And they cut it out, right?
Uh-huh.
And then they're like, the next two films they're making reference those dice.
Mm-hmm.
And then he takes it out. So it's like, what are these dice? Because then there was like The Last Jedi, the dice were in it.
Uh-huh.
And then Solo, the dice were in it. And it's just like, if they just had those dice.
Right. It would have made a lot more sense. Yeah. And that was an interesting choice too. I did think the concept of it was neat, but you're right. Had it been up there in The Force Awakens, then yeah, it would have been like, oh, there's the things. Yeah. So let me ask you this. Okay. When we see in The Last Jedi where Luke appears before Leia, and I immediately noticed, man, he like really went with, got that gray out of his beard and all that when he appears to her in the cave.
Mm-hmm.
And how just heroic that was. And I remember thinking, why does he look younger? And maybe he's just like, well, I better hurry up and clean up because now I got to quit being a hermit and go show up and help be in it to win it, right? And he puts the dice in her hand and you see her eyes pop open. And, you can interpret that differently once you see the reveal at the end that he's not really there. Were the dice real when he put them in her hand? Did they really physically, was he able to transfer them physically all the way across the galaxy and set them in her hand?
No. They disappear, yeah.
I don't think they do. I don't think they show him disappear. He puts them in her hand and she makes the face and curls her fingers around him and he gets up and kisses her on the head and walks off. And that's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It may actually show. No, does it? I think it might show him sitting there. Doesn't Kylo Ren pick him up? Oh my gosh, I've seen that movie so many times and I can't tell you what happens in there.
I don't know. Kylo Ren there's a scene where he does go into the Millennium Falcon, but it's cut out.
That was in The Force Awakens.
The dice disappear when Kylo picks them up.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I sort of seem to remember the dice disappearing in someone's hand.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah, the deleted scene of Kylo going in the Falcon was in The Force Awakens. When they're on Starkiller Base in the snow.
Got you. Yeah. So this is the other thing about J.J. Abrams that I was going to say about how he's just so steadfast.
Mm-hmm.
So when he took over Episode 9, they were building. I don't know what part, but I'm not sure if it was open yet or what. I think it must have been open by then. But the theme park, Galaxy's Edge, it's that Imperial ship is a ship from what's his name? Trevorrow's episode 9. Right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's like they had to get this design in early so it matched up. Right? And so they've built it full size in 2 Disneylands. And then JJ Abrams comes in and goes, yeah, we're not using that. Like, it's like they don't even use it in the movie at all.
Yeah.
Like, because they've got those shuttles. You know how there's 2 and then they think, like, nah. I just love, like, it doesn't bother me, but I just love it.
It is kind of funny.
It's just like, you are not doing nothing for no one.
What's cool, though, I mean, it's interesting in a way that, they've had directors come on board and then they let them go because they're just wanting too much free reign and we can't clamp them down. But I suspect J.J. Abrams was like, here's the deal. I'm going to do whatever I want. And they're like, he's J.J. Abrams. I guess we have to let him do whatever he wants. And he does. He just does. He comes in and does it. And I remember how excited I was when I heard he was taking over The Rise of Skywalker. And then where I landed with it after I watched it. Some very interesting choices he made where he just did his own thing. He treated The Last Jedi kind of like Tony Gilroy treats the comics and books when he makes TV shows,
Oh,
He's like, me, did that really happen? Me.
let's undo it. But yeah, I feel like Jon Favreau undoes more of his storylines than J.J. Abrams did of Rian Johnson.
Yeah, that's true with this. Yeah, with Ahsoka and
Everyone's back.
Yeah,
That ship's back. Robot's back. Everyone's back.
everyone's back.
It's all good.
You know what though, man? Sometimes everything just working out is okay with me. You know what I mean? Where, I don't know. That's one of the things I loved about the show Parks and Recreation is that, there were emotional moments with at the end of the day, everything just sort of worked out for everybody. Yeah. And I don't know. Sometimes that's what you want when you want to escape reality. But that's just me.
Well, it's definitely what I was thinking when I was watching the end of Andor.
Yeah.
Don't boldly walk towards that ship. Don't nod to the lady that knows your fate. Come on.
So let me ask you, how did you feel about like Mon Mothma's whole storyline in that and where she landed in Andor? Personally, I loved it. I'm a fan of hers. So
Don't you like her neck or something weird?
I have, the long neck. That's an attractive feature.
Yeah, that's odd given that you hide your neck
with my hair. Yeah.
You're a bit shy because that hair is so special to you.
That's what it is. It's my, that's how you flirt, show a little bit. No, it's nothing like that. Just, But yeah, I'm a fan of hers. But I thought it was really cool, like her whole arc in that.
Is this
show.
where you're hoping it was going?
Oh no, absolutely not. I'm full of regret right now, full of it. But I thought like that was just so intriguing, like her having to just eat the turd sandwich and go on and like get drunk at the wedding of her daughter, and knowing that dude is getting ready to get axed because of her, and like the way she delivers a speech at the end, that was just cool.
It's just crazy that lady that like walked out with Admiral Akbar in like 83 and said like 2 things is now just like this insanely interesting character.
That is something, isn't it? Here's one thing. Speaking of that, though, is the number of people when Rogue One came out and then when Andor ended who are like, well, where were the Bothans? Why didn't we see them? It's like you're thinking of the wrong Death Star. You missed it.
They've got horse heads, don't they? The Bothans.
I think that's them.
I think they used to.
Yeah, I'm not sure where they land on that now, but that feels right. I think.
Imagine, right? This is a good reference. You know how they like to pay homage to films, right? So they're in some gangster situation and they're trying to threaten someone.
Right. Go on.
And they've got an assistant boffin.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the morning, the guy wakes up with the boffin's head
In his bed. Yeah.
It's a Godfather reference, everyone, just so you know.
Yeah. And then on the morning of her daughter's wedding, somebody comes to Mon Mothma and she says, you say this to me on the day of my daughter's wedding. Yeah, that'd be top shelf stuff, man. Bothan head in the bed. I'm really surprised they didn't take that. They didn't go that route. That's excellent.
I wish they'd bite something from the Godfather.
Well, I mean, sooner or later, maybe they'll make a movie about Jabba the Hutt, and we'll get something like that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
that sort of thing. Well, you got Jabba the Hutt's son or whatever coming up in the Grogu movie.
Yeah. I can't remember his name. I just know they were calling him Stinky. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that'll be his name.
No, he does have a proper name. Someone in the chat will know it.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It should be Jabba Jr. Jabba Jew.
There you go. That'd be great. That would be great.
Emily would like it.
Little side story. I used to work with a guy that the other people nicknamed Stinky, and I foolishly assumed that guy was in on it. No, he was not.
So you called him Stinky?
I did, because that's what everybody called him, and he had all these dudes had like 20 years on me, and I just assumed that he was in on it, and he was not. So I suspect Jabba's son doesn't like being called Stinky either.
So you just got in on the bullying?
I guess inadvertently. I
don't know, man. Like if I met some people and everyone called him Stinky, even to his face, I reckon I'd be calling him whatever his name. I don't think I could call anyone Stinky. It just seems pretty brutal.
Well, at this point in my life, I wouldn't.
Rhoda the Hutt is the Stinky's name. Thank you, Cody.
Okay, all right. But I feel like I'm a much better person now. I wouldn't call him Stinky now. But I was, a young 20-something-year-old that thought I knew everything. And
Rebecca here's got a great reference. Leave the lightsaber, take the cannoli.
Rebecca, how are you? That's awesome. Oh, earlier Rebecca had said the thing about she noticed that Luke was so much younger, and that ruined the reveal. She knew right away that he wasn't there in The Last Jedi.
Yeah, I wasn't doing much thinking. I was just like, what's going to happen?
Yeah, that's where I was too. It's just like I was noticing things, but like not doing a lot of like mental gymnastics to figure it out.
And then that bloody lightsaber. It was blue.
Mm-hmm.
Brutal.
Yep. That is one thing I wish they would have done, is gone with the classic Return of the Jedi lightsaber that had the thin neck instead of the traditional Graflex episodes 4 and 5 lightsaber. But
so the Return of the Jedi one's not made from a camera flash.
it's the handle may have been, but it's completely different. It doesn't look like it's made from any kind of camera flash that I can tell. Yeah.
I've got my There it is in the background.
Yep, I see it. That thing's a beauty, man. It's so good.
It's a fine piece of work.
It is. It is. The craftsmanship, just breathtaking.
Eric built me a Luke Skywalker lightsaber.
That is such a cool design. And it's very similar to Obi-Wan Kenobi's from A New Hope.
I don't even like you say it's such a cool design,
mm-hmm.
and I'm like, it might be. I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's so like I'm so biased that I can't even like. I've got no choice. It's the best
right. No, it is. I think it's so cool, that thin neck on there. If anybody ever buys a lightsaber like that, don't duel with them. They'll break at that thin point if you're wailing on somebody with it. So don't do it.
Oh, with the Luke.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
The yeah, so I was sort of thinking that he should, like, I love it, but it's sort of like, oh my God. Sorry, if you're listening to the podcast, some thumbs up bubble just appeared next to me. I like these random things happen when I gesture, and it's so exciting.
So I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2, my favorite video game of all time. I was streaming, and there's a scene where the character is cracking a safe. And every time he gets one of the numbers in the combination, he's like, and then when he gets 2, he does 2. And on my MacBook, when it sees this, it makes balloons go. When it sees the peace sign.
Yeah, it does to me, yeah.
Yeah, but since I'm using a Windows PC for this right now, but yeah, and so right in the middle of my cowboy outlaw movie, the stream, suddenly all these balloons go flying up just like that right there. And it was because of the computer guy on the screen. It was hilarious.
Oh, no way, so the video game set it off.
Mm-hmm, yep. Because it treats my capture card like a camera. And so as far as it could tell, it was a web camera of somebody doing the thing.
How it comes up behind you, like the balloons like around your silhouette, that's black magic.
It is. Apple is flirting with the dark arts, man. But it's so cool.
Yeah, so if you're listening to the podcast, like the balloons come up behind me and it's like cropped. Like a greens. It's what an age, huh?
It is wild. The fact that it can do it in real time with no green screen or anything,
or knowledge it's going to happen.
Right. That's the other thing too. Yeah. Unless it's just secretly doing calculations in the background for just in case.
I wish I could, because it doesn't like do it all the time. So I wish I could just had a button to make it happen. There's like firewalk, there's streamers that come down. It's a whole deal. It's very exciting on the internet.
It is.
It's good to be here.
Now, if you're listening to this, it's very hard to appreciate, but you're just going to have to take our word for it. It's pretty amazing.
Cody Parker says, finish that brewski steal, break out the whiskey like me. Let's talk about what could have been with the sequels. Yeah, I don't know if I'm hitting the whiskey.
Well, I definitely won't be.
No,
but you're more than welcome to.
Yeah,
and we can talk about what could have been.
I don't know if we've got any to hit. But yeah, definitely not a. It's not a Monday night hit. But thanks for the suggestion, Cody. Rebecca says, I do love Green Guide Screen Balloon Magic. Oh, no, green screen. I added it.
Just out of habit.
I messed the reference up. So, sorry, everyone. Should we look at what else is happening in Star Wars news? We
sure, man.
About this. Do you have anything more to say?
No, I don't have anything more to say on The Last Jedi or anything else.
So that's it. We're done. It's no one will ever talk about it ever again.
Nope. Yeah, it's finally been laid to rest.
This is just a weird little headline here. I read a little bit about this before, and it's about how Diego Luna, how he had to eat super healthy so he could look younger. for
Huh.
Andor.
Interesting. Well, good on him. You know,
Have
Maybe-
you watched Rogue One after? Did you?
No, I haven't.
Even on when it finished, you didn't just like watch a
No.
little bit. Oh
Mm-mm.
man, I was straight in, and it tripped me out because I forgot that it starts with Jyn Erso, and I'm like, who's this?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
like because in your head you feel like it's going to finish,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's going to be like Maroon 5 or whatever, like that awesome planet that they start.
Oh gosh, what is the name of that?
It's something 5, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Um,
I should remember that.
yeah, you don't have to. It's fine.
Yeah.
Forgetting stuff's healthy.
Yeah, well, good. That means I'm doing great. I'm in top shape.
But yeah, because you've got that whole, preamble with Saw Gerrera and all, and Mendo, of course, young Mendo.
Uh-huh.
I always thought it was weird that Mendo in the past, before the time jump, looks older than he does like 10 years later.
I thought so too. I don't know what that's about.
But he had a sick windbreaker on. That poncho thing. I always thought that was kind of dope.
It was cool, man. It was like a cape, but it had the like cupped shoulders on it to help hold it in place.
He looked like he was going to go play golf in the rain.
He did.
Oh, Billy, Nakina 5. No, isn't Nakina 5 that's the prison planet, isn't it?
Hang on. Let me look it up. We'll see. I have a device right here that can tell me what I need to know.
Josh Chapman's just joined us to hear us not know something and have no way of finding out. No, I'm sure Nakina 5 was the prison planet, wasn't it?
That sounds right.
Johnny G saying yep, but what to?
Catherine. The Rings of Catherine.
The
That's what it
Rings
was.
of Catherine.
Catherine.
That is a sick planet.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're on the planet, you don't really feel that asteroid vibe.
Right. I don't know. Maybe it's the atmosphere stops you from seeing out very well. I guess. I
want to check out I'll get the photo up. The Rings of
And it's Kafrene. Or something real close to that.
Google knows. I need an image of this.
Because I was curious how the gravity was able to localize the atmosphere like that too.
Oh, I heard this thing today. And it was, we should just watch it. It's about the Death Star's gravity and this guy theorizing about how it works. And it was, sorry, I'm reading the chat and I'm getting so distracted.
That's okay.
I'm totally lost. What was I saying?
The gravity on the Death Star.
Oh yeah, and it's just like a video about like all the different theories about the gravity on the Death Star, and I was just like, it's wild.
That's interesting. Like, is it like a basketball where it slices and it's like north is up and south is down and gravity's from the bottom, or is it gravity's toward the center like
well,
a
that's what
planet
they were
would be?
asking, but I always just thought it was like levels.
Yeah, and that's what I thought too.
Because it flies in
Mm-hmm.
and they're all standing up.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. But I mean, I guess it depends on how massive it is. Because for all you physics nerds out there, gravity is a function of the interaction of the mass of two objects. And I mean, all objects have a force of gravity attracting them if they have mass. The thing is, the planet you stand on is so much more massive that it's the gravity between two objects is almost unmeasurable. But does that mean then that the gravity on the Death Star would be toward the center? Is it so massive that it works like that? I don't know.
I say no.
I would say no too. I think the gravity has to be artificial.
But what the video pointed out was that this gravity technology is like pretty cheap in the Star Wars universe. Like it's pretty
Easy to come by.
Yeah, because like he pointed out that when they go up, and this is just like, you know, they just made this up on the fly. I think anyway. But when they go up the ladder in the Millennium Falcon to go to the gun turrets, you know, then they sit and the gravity's different.
Right.
So the gravity on the gun turrets is like coming out of where your feet are.
It appears to be, yes.
Yeah.
Right. So here's my question though, is how do we know where the location of the gun is in reference to that bubble? Because the only thing I have to go by is like my Millennium Falcon toy, and it was nothing like that. Of course,
They didn't even have one on the bottom on the toy.
So I don't know. I don't know how it works. That's interesting. It's like if you had a ladder that went through the exact center of the Earth, at what point would the gravity flip over? I mean, in the dead center, you would assume. But so, yeah, I don't know. It's wild.
Yeah, what is in the center? What's happening in the center of the Earth right now? We need to get a webcam down there.
Yeah, we do. I suspect it's a lot of molten metal, rock, just molten, just from the sheer pressure of it all. But if there's any physicists in the chat, if you could let us know, or geologists, that'd be great. This is what people came here for right now.
What about the devil? Where's he at down there?
Dude, that's a good question. I don't know. I'd say real estate down there's probably too pricey. He can't afford to live down there.
But he bought in early. He was.
That's true. If it was a pyramid scheme, he would definitely be the one with like, all the downline.
The devil put hell on the map.
He did. You know, it really had no cred before him. And he's like, here's how it's going to be.
They're just so associated. It's like George Lucas and Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. You know, I suspect that, you know, all the people who go to hell, if suddenly the devil wasn't in charge anymore and he sold it, they'd be like, this is crap. It was a lot better when the devil was running the show around here. This is no good at all. I want that classic hell back. This new hell, it's not my hell. Sorry, where did that come from?
Wait there, I've got this, oh no.
What did you make of the galaxy map that they put on StarWars.com?
I have not looked at it.
It's neat. It's a map.
I was sort of like, I'm like, what am I going to learn from this?
Right. I mean, you know, if you're planning a summer vacation, maybe you can pick a point to visit, but.
Yeah, I don't know. I used to find that pretty interesting. I remember sometimes the books would have the little galaxy map, but I saw two planets were together or close to each other. And I was just like, I can't deal. I can't remember what those two planets were.
Yeah, I didn't look at it long enough to.
Oh, it was the planet from Skeleton Crew and some other planet, and I was just like, yeah.
Oh, are they just like binary planets that rotate around a central point, almost like a unit where they're each one's the moon of the other, and they're locked.
Oh no, I don't know. It was just two planets, and they were like, oh, maybe this means this, and I was like, I don't know. How does it? So how does it work?
What's that?
Like, is the map a picture, or is it like, does it move?
You know what? I can't remember. I've only seen a flat rendering of it. Somebody sent me.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it'd have to be multi-dimensional. It'd have to be 4 dimensions, right? No,
Well, that
3.
one they crack open in The Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
That is it's quite a map.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, this is the other thing I was going to talk about. So I watched that because on the what's it called, the Tales of the Underworld,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because it came out on May the 4th. And there's too much stuff coming out, so I didn't watch it that day. Because what else came out that day? Was Andor out that day, or is this no? Because I think Andor was just coming out a movie a week, so it was just like
right.
It's all I can handle.
Yeah, I didn't make time for it either. I watched the first 2 of the Asajj Ventress episodes on Fortnite. Fortnite did a big Star Wars tie-in, and you were able to watch those early in the game. You went into a viewing room like at your little avatar, and you would go. You could go in a bar or sit in like this arena and watch it on the screen.
And so when you watched it, it was just normal. Like there's not like your video game character's head in the way or anything like that.
So I watched it like that just because I thought it was neat. But no, yeah, you could have it go full screen. The only downside is if you use, you could hear like the other people that were in the space with you, like shooting and stuff the whole time. Because they would run around. They had like the thing where you could go down and all these stormtroopers would keep spawning and you could shoot them and hit them with lightsabers and stuff. But it was cool to see them.
Could people come in while you watched it and shoot you?
No, you couldn't shoot each other. It was just these random NPCs walking around that you could shoot.
So did you end up watching the rest of them?
I did. It was a ways after they came out, same as you. I think maybe it was like 3 weeks ago, something like that. And my son and I watched them, and we really dug them.
Really? I didn't like it at all.
Really? Not even what about it? No redeeming qualities?
It was fine. It was just sort of just like, it's just there. I don't know.
Yeah, there's not they do interesting stuff in it, but there's not a lot of repercussions that are going to affect me as a person. Asajj Ventress is raised from the dead. She's got this new pal that she's running around with.
She just seems like, I don't know, their relationship just seems so odd. Like so basic from someone that just came back from the dead.
Right. And she can't figure out who she is. If she's like, if you're a Dungeons and Dragons person, is she chaotic neutral? I don't know. And I don't think she knows. And so this guy represents her trying to be a better person, I guess. Who knows? I hope that they do something with it. Well, in a way,
as someone that loathes undoing things, it's just like, why bring her back? Like, it's so odd at the start. What's his name? Sal Perales comes up and just drops her in a pond. And they walk off, and then she's like, miss her back.
Yeah. And I wonder how much time went by there. Was it literally like, oh, hurry up, they're getting ready to drive off. Oh, darn, there they go.
Well, that's how they made it seem. Like she could like see them, but I don't know if she was actually what her being was at that time.
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure.
But it just seems such a weird tonal thing that you're like, because they had this sort of like dynamic between them, like this sort of just like little sidekicky thing, and it's like, you're a zombie.
Yeah, essentially.
And now you're like kind of the most jovial I've ever seen you.
Maybe she's got a new outlook on life. She was raised back from the dead. I don't like the one thing I didn't get with her storyline is that the thing about you have to give up the thing that you care for the most or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And obviously that's got to be what's his name?
Sal Perales.
Yes, Sal Perales. And which let's face it, everybody that's met Sal Perales understands.
What's his real name? We should say his real name.
Quinlan Voss.
That's it.
But she's still looking for him. But I guess she realizes once they're close enough that she could possibly find him, she backs away. Because she was trying to get the kid to go on the path, that's saving the Jedi, but he doesn't, and she doesn't go and try to find Quinlan Voss. So plainly, she remembers who he is and her connection with him. If you guys have never read Dark Disciple, it's quite good. It really is. As far as the early books of the Disney era Star Wars, I really enjoyed it. It's a cool read.
Everyone seems to like that's one of the gold standards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but that Filoni, he needs to like go see a therapist about letting go.
He does. You're not wrong there. He does have a hard time letting go of these things. Because I mean, what they're doing with her could have been anybody else. Her showing back up in the Bad Batch as an example. I don't know that it being her didn't serve some major purpose that it couldn't have been any other Force user. Unless it's just like to show that ultimately everybody can turn good if you give them enough time. I'm not sure what the lesson is there. But then let's look at the other storyline is the Cad Bane.
You gotta this comment is so gnarly. Rebecca says Filoni is the kid in the neighborhood who says he has the best Star Wars collection, but it's just a dozen copies of the same 3 tops trading cards.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. Oh, Rebecca, you are on it. That's good stuff.
That's just so brutal.
That's good. That is like, there's so many facets to that burn right there. What do you think of the Cad Bane story?
No, like Cad Bane is just so. I just don't like him as a character. He's just so like. He's what's his name from The Simpsons? Poochie.
Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down there. I like him. Just because I thought his design was cool and I love his voice. And so his backstory, and that is one thing that Disney's done a good job with is making you like humanizing the bad guys, because you see how he got sucked into this life of crime as a kid because he was poor and hungry and all this stuff. And,
who wasn't?
Right. And which is exactly how you would assume one gets into a life of crime at that age. But the whole spoiler alert, by the way, everybody, it turns out that his best friend ends up marrying the girl that he was in love with after his best friend is now a sheriff of sorts, whatever it was, the FBI or something. And Cad Bane is bad, and his girlfriend ends up getting caught during this heist, and the cop ends up marrying her. He comes back and finds out that his ex-girlfriend is with this dude, and they have a kid who plainly, it turns out it's Cad Bane's kid. The kid doesn't know. The dad knows. Yeah, what a twist. What are they going to do with that? Probably nothing. But
it's just like, just do some other characters.
Yeah, it would be cool if they came up with some new people. That's one of the things I liked about Visions is, just some of the new characters. It doesn't have to be. And speaking of which, that's something that Kathleen Kennedy has talked about, is that what they're really trying to move forward with is stuff that doesn't have to be connected to everything else.
Well, see, I don't like that. I like connection. I don't like Visions is fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like I like the rich tapestry that's all linking together and stuff.
Right. But I mean, I think for me, it's like we don't have to get they said the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, they mentioned the name. That's the kind of thing.
done. It's all been.
Yeah.
It's all been said.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to whatever they end up with. Now, whether they can resist the temptation, that remains to be seen. But yeah.
Yeah, I just thought they were just like. I was like, what's the what? What does this do?
None of the. So they've done 3 now: Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire, and Tales of what is it again? Tales of the Underworld.
The Empire one, I remember particularly. I thought that was pretty good.
Oh, it wasn't terrible by any stretch. I liked all of them, but there was like it wasn't. Oh my gosh, this is I couldn't have lived without this. Now that I have this story, it's nothing like that.
I don't know. When I was watching the animation, I was just like, why do they always? They either are moving really slow or moving really fast. Like all the characters just seem to be like this really weird. There's this really weird Clone Wars walk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I don't know enough about how to do animation that I can adequately explain why that is, but it is. That's a good observation. Speaking of animation,
like the Bad Batch seemed like it was better animated.
Yeah, it definitely did. But I feel like the style of it was slightly different too. Even though there's a lot of visual aspects of it that are the same, ultimately the animation style was different enough. But were you ever a South Park fan at all?
Yeah.
So you remember Temmie and then the guy Skylar who dated Stan's sister. And this was early on in the show.
Okay.
He had this band and they were called Lords of the Underworld. And they had this stupid song that was Lords of the Underworld. And every time I hear Tales of the Underworld, I hear it in that stupid rhythm of that song.
Sounds like a band Halls would be into.
It probably is. I suspect he was there. If you listen to them singing it in South Park, you can hear in the background somebody going, yeah! And that's Haas. But that's his go-to yell at a concert.
All right, let's. Oh, well, are you buying any Coke cans?
No, probably not. I've really tried to get away from the collecting. I've really tried. Every now and then I'll see something that almost sucks me back in, but I have shelves full of stuff that I wouldn't mind parting ways with. So if anybody is looking for a grip of Black Series figures, you hit up old Strothers and we can work out a deal.
How many Black Series figures do you reckon you've got? Oh man, that was a deep breath.
Man, I don't know. I hate to venture a guess. Well over 100. Still in the box.
Still in the box.
A whole bunch of them are, yeah. Now I have a whole bunch that I opened. Specifically when I moved. We moved into this house just, 4 years ago now. And
did you set up that Last Jedi thing again?
I did. I actually improved it dramatically.
For those that don't know, Eric had like the Last Jedi, like the gateway, the 2-sided gateway into the cinema or whatever it was.
The big ones, the IMAX ones, not the ones at the regular theater. And what was funny is when those were assembled, when they got shipped to the OmniMax theater, the guy didn't put them together right. And the dude at the OmniMax told me that. He goes, yeah, they sent this idiot in to do it, and he got it wrong. And so it lights up on the inside. Oh. And so when I got them here to this house, I took them completely apart, and they would just barely fit in my basement under the, my finished basement. And so what I did is I actually got a straight edge and trimmed it so the geometry of it looks the same, but it's slightly shorter. And I've got it installed correctly where it lights up on the inside, and so you see the lightsaber lines. It's cool as can be, but you know, someday I'll have to do something with them.
So are they up now, or?
Yeah, they're right through that wall over there.
That was a good score.
I'm gonna let me see if I can find the picture I took of them while they were all lit up together in here, and I'll send it to you too because it is really neat.
I'm trying to find a picture of all the. Oh, here we go. View image. Oh my stars! I think I will get a Coke can.
How many different designs are there?
Oh, I'm only getting one. So Coke are doing this Star Wars promo. Very brings me back. Did you ever collect a Pepsi Coke, Eric?
Yes. I mean, not collect them as much as got them whenever they were in stores and drank them. You know? Oh, here's this picture. I'm going to send it to you right now. You can see how they're actually lit up on the inside. They're really neat. It'd be cooler if it was like dark in the picture so you could see just how lit those lightsaber blades are.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
I just got to work out how to get this on the screen.
1, 2, 3.
Present, share screen, window, bang. That is tight.
Yeah. And so them being lit from the inside really makes all the difference on how cool they are.
Yeah, I don't think the ones that I saw were lit up either.
Now, they had smaller versions of them that were in like most theaters. They were quite a bit narrower and not as tall. So those are the IMAX ones. And yeah, you can see how it's built like an archway. You know what's cool, man? And this is a really special memory for me. I took my son to see that movie. It was his first Star Wars movie in a theater. And I have a picture of him standing next to those when they were at that theater. And so then once I was able to bring him home, man, I mean, he was a little guy. 4, maybe 3. And having that picture of him standing next to those and then ending up with them at our house, it's pretty neat.
As Josh, I saw this.
Yeah.
Well, Black Series bundles on the left. That's
Yeah. And further to the left of that is that giant porg that my buddy Lucas won on that One Force Friday.
Oh man, I wanted that giant porg.
I have it. We could work out a deal.
No,
He's ginormous.
I do not want it now.
Yeah. I don't know that I could part ways with it, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it. He just sits over in there and guards my guitars. I have tons of guitars in cases that I never play. He watches them for me.
It's a beautiful porg.
Yeah, he is. I got some beautiful guitars. If anybody wants to buy some guitars, hit me up. It's because I have some really nice guitars, but it's because I have some super nice guitars that I had custom made for me, and those are my like daily drivers, if you will.
You and your custom made items.
Mm-hmm. Those guitars are fancy schmancy.
I'm trying to find like a link to all the Coke cans, but
so there were 12 bottles in that picture you had up. How many more? Like, so are they doing cans and bottles and then the 12-pack packaging as well?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I cannot stand these the plastic bottles of Coke.
Mm-hmm.
I find it is the worst way to consume Coke.
It's not great. You're right. I would much rather have a nice fountain soda from McDonald's.
Really, I like a can, a refreshing can.
Cans are good too.
But I think the Luke one is only on a bottle because it's here. I don't think they duplicate characters, but I might be wrong. But there's a Luke down there next to Yoda, next to Baby Yoda, third at the bottom.
Okay.
But all right, I'm gonna have to find. This is the Walt Disney Company uploads I'm in. Jeez, this is pretty high security.
Oh man, look at you. Oh, so the way I could see it, there was only 12 of them on my screen, but no, there's substantially more.
Yeah, there's like a whole gamut of them, but I can't tell what's from what era.
So one of my buddies sent me.
Oh, wait, maybe I'll just. Oh, wait, I'll go to news, and then new Star Wars Coca-Cola is hitting shelves. Here's everything we need to know.
That commercial that they put out was pretty great.
Oh, I'm still on the same thing.
Have you watched it?
No, I have heard it's good.
It hits all the nostalgia points, man. Oh,
It goes for a long time, doesn't it?
it is lengthy, yes. But it's very much like a for the fans, by fans sort of thing.
Regular Cokes will feature. No, is that a can? And see, they've got different ones for zero sugar, and I just want one can. There's Disney Park exclusives.
Jeez.
I don't want zero sugar. Regular Coke will feature, but are there cans?
Well, it shows cans in that picture.
Yeah, but I want the pictures. Like, I want to know if... Okay, so there's a Darth Vader can. Let's see if there's a Darth Vader bottle. Oh, actually, I don't have that picture anymore. Wait there.
There's an Ahsoka can also, I noticed.
All right, I'm sick of the cans. I'm done with them. All right, Nerdist, maybe you can help me. I just want a picture of all the cans. There's a Darth Maul can that looks really good because it's red.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
All right, I'm done with the cans. They're not
So
very-
if you had one, would you drink it or would you put it on the shelf and keep it unopened?
You're meant to drink it.
Yeah, I agree.
Steve Sansweet says to drink it.
Well, because listen, it's not going to be any good going forward. It's not. It's going to be terrible.
Well, the worry is if it opens and if it's near other things that are collectibles.
Right. Yeah.
No good.
Because liquid is the great ruiner, man. Now, I have a box of the Kylo Ren cereal from when The Force Awakens came out, unopened. Who's brave enough to eat that cereal now? I mean, it's never been opened.
Well, Hollis drank the Pepsi from the 90s,
Mm-hmm.
which I was like going, yeah, I don't know about doing that, dude. And he goes, oh, I've read up on it. It's fine.
He read an article from 1999 that said, yeah, drinking this is fine if you've had them sitting around.
They're delicious.
Yeah. So,
All righty. Well, we've gone longer than I promised you we would. So I
that's
appreciate
okay.
that, Eric.
yeah, man, I'm just happy to hang out. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been good to chatter.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell the good people of the internet about the Sith list if they don't already know.
So the Sith List is a pop culture podcast that has about 100 hosts that rotate around because somehow not all of us can be there at one time. Raj is the only constant in the thing. And we discuss all things geek, movies, fandoms in general, like King Tom, Chansky and I, we talk about Star Wars on the show. And yeah, it's always a good time, man. It's great fun. And the facts fly loose, and we just have a good time putting it out there. It's a blast. Come and check us out. The new episodes drop every Wednesday. Sithlist.com.
Excellent. Always fun. I always forget that you guys don't know I'm listening because I feel like I've caught up with you all because I'm like, oh yeah, I know what everyone's up to. But yeah, super fun listen. With that Dynamo Raj.
Yeah.
Who's if he ever tells a story about me, always question it.
Well, after he told me the story about the terry cloth shirt, I question everything he says now.
Dicey.
Yeah.
All right, Eric. Thanks so much.
Absolutely,
Thanks
man.
to everyone that hung out in the chat. Leave a little comment and all that good stuff. My mouse is out of battery. But hit the Sith List episode. Have you recorded on Tuesdays, yeah? Or do you
We record
Wednesday?
on Wednesdays. Episodes come out Thursdays. I'm sorry, I said Wednesday before. But yeah, episodes come out Thursday morning, late Wednesday night. He just kind of goes crazy with it.
He does go crazy. He loves a late night edit.
Mm-hmm.
He's very very dedicated to the cause on that one. But definitely I think that this episode's gone on
long enough.
So may that force be with you. Yeah, if that Araj makes up one more story about me on that show.
You know, I'm pretty sure he tells stories about me whenever I'm not on, and it infuriates me.
He's less reliable than a Naboo.
That's pretty drastic stuff right there.
That's where we are.